Hi, I'm Morse, the founder of Core Elements Training. In this short video, I'm going to demonstrate application of soft tissue release, or STR, to the quadriceps muscle group. So soft tissue release is an excellent technique for helping to reduce muscle hypertonicity, to increase range of motion around the associated joint, and pliability within the muscle tissue, and localized blood flow as well. So one of the key mechanisms of soft tissue release is the application of a lock to the tissue. Now you can apply the lock in several different ways. So you can use the forearm, you can use the knuckles, or for more targeted areas, you could use the elbow to lock the tissue in place. So if the lock starts off nearer to the muscle origin, the stretch is going to feel less intense on those muscle fibers, because everything below the lock, so if I place my lock here, okay, on the quadriceps group or the rectus femoris, everything below my lock is going to be stretching. Everything above my lock won't be stretching. So that's non-affected tissue above the lock. So the higher the lock, or the closer the lock is towards the origin of the muscle, the less intense the technique is going to feel to the client. As we get nearer towards the insertion of the muscle, the intensity of the technique is going to feel more to the client. So they're going to be more aware of the technique that you're doing, and it's going to feel higher pressure to them. So therefore you need to check your intensity levels with the client. Okay, if the whole of the muscle tissue is in a hypertonic state, then you could do multiple locks along the length of the muscle group, starting off nearer towards the origin and getting further towards the insertion. You could also use this technique if the client was recovering from a muscle strain. In that instance, in the instances of a strain, what you would do is you would identify where the tissue had strained and was going through that healing process. So say, for example, if the strain was here, I would then apply my lock below the injury site. So the tissue below the lock would be stretching, and we'd be increasing the localized blood flow here and increasing pliability and functionality of the tissue, but everything above the lock would be non-affected. So therefore we wouldn't be interfering with the healing process of the muscle strain. Okay, so two different ways of applying the technique. So today what I'm going to demonstrate is the technique when the muscle is in a hypertonic state, or the whole of the muscle group is in a state of tension, and therefore we want to increase blood flow and increase pliability to the tissue. So I need to decide where I'm going to apply my lock and how I'm applying it. Am I applying it with the knuckles, or am I applying it with the forearm? And then I need to also make sure that the client's in the right position so they can shuffle over towards the edge of the couch so their leg can then drop off the edge of the couch. So after I've applied the lock, they're going to flex and extend the knee 3 to 6 times. Okay, so Katie, are you able to drop your leg off the couch? If we just test that first. Yep, perfect. Okay, so we always apply the lock when the muscle is in a shortened and relaxed position. So in this instance, I'm going to use my elbow. I'm going to make sure that I tuck my elbow into the side of my body. So I don't want my arm out to the side here, because that's going to fatigue quite quickly at the shoulder joint. And I want to be able to use my body weight to help to keep the intensity of the lock. So I'm applying my lock to the tissue now. Okay, then the client's going to drop the leg off the edge of the couch, and she's now going to flex and extend at the knee. I'm keeping the pressure on, and I'm keeping that constant the whole time. Okay, so she's going to repeat that 3 to 6 times. So she's now done 3 times, 4, and if we do 2 more repetitions. So when we do this technique actively, the client is in control of the discomfort level that they're feeling. Excellent. Then I'm going to reposition and release my lock. I would then reapply my lock, again, whilst the muscle's in a shortened and relaxed position here. Then the client will then drop the leg off the couch again, and then she's going to flex and extend at the knee. Each time flexing and extending 3 to 6 times. Now remember, as I get closer to the knee, the technique might feel more intense to the client, so keep checking with the client for their tolerance levels. Excellent. And then from here, I'm going to reposition and then release my lock. And then I would reposition my lock, getting closer to that insertion point. Client will then drop the leg off. I'm making sure I'm staying constant with my pressure here. Good. And 2 more. Brilliant. And 1 more. Excellent. And then we come back to the couch and release the lock. If I was using the forearm, it would be exactly the same method. So I would choose which forearm is best for you. Okay, but ideally we want to check what the leg is doing. So we want to be able to comfortably see the leg. Okay, from here, I would apply the lock. The nice thing with the forearm is that we can get a broader area with that lock, so it's slightly less targeted. And then from here, we would take the leg to the side, and again, allow the client to take the weight of the leg, and as they do so, you can then reinforce the pressure with your hand that you're applying through the forearm. Check the tolerance level with your client, and then 1 more. Brilliant. And then reposition and then take the lock off. And then from there, again, if we were working over the whole of that muscle area or that muscle group, we could then move that lock further down towards the knee. Okay, so that's an example of our soft tissue release technique using the knuckles and using the forearm to the quadriceps region. Now, we would always use our heavier pressures after we've done warm-up techniques first. So we would warm the area up with the effleurage and our petrissage techniques to identify where that hypertonicity is within the muscle tissue, where the areas of tension are. And then if we're trying to apply that firm lock, it's really useful to then take the medium off. So just remove any excess medium with your towel, with an extra towel, just to wipe it off the area and make sure you wipe it off the areas that you're applying the lock with. And then you can get more of a grip when you put that pressure into the tissue. So this is an example of one of the techniques that we cover on our Level 4 Sports and Remedial Massage Diploma. If you'd like to find out more about our Level 4 Sports and Remedial Massage Diploma or any of our wider CPD courses, then please visit our website at www.coreelements.uk.com. Thank you.